I'm joined again by William Courtney. He's the adjunct senior fellow at the RAND Corporation and also a former U.S. ambassador with insight into Russian, Ukrainian, and Eurasian affairs. Thank you so much. Welcome back. We saw you earlier in the day here. What can the country expect now moving forward?
A strong dose of reforms. President Poroshenko has already talked about the need for reforms. He's outlined some ideas, but beginning to sell those reforms to the new parliament and to the people is going to be a Herculean task. Ukraine is strong in democracy, but in economic reforms, it's in terrible shape. The economy is going down by 10% this year. Europe is going to have to ante up some money to keep stabilizing Ukraine, but Ukraine has to do most of the work itself through its own reforms.
But there are many issues like the economy, obviously, the fighting going on that could continue to divide this country.
The fighting, if it were to resume again, it certainly could add to divisions in the country. But by and large, what we've seen in this election is the election of people who are generally moderate, generally pro-European, not too nationalist. So the country's more unified now probably than it's been since its independence in 1991.
Even though the fighting stopped, though, there's still a lot of tension there and a lot of animosity about what's happened. How do you bring everyone together? I know like Luhansk and Donetsk are going to have their separate election as well as Crimea, but how do you move forward and keep everyone happy?
Well, Ukraine faces a choice now. The areas that are under control of the Russians and Russian-backed separatist forces, the Ukrainian government probably can't do much to help economically in those areas, just as in Georgia and Moldova, which also have separatist areas. Those central governments can't really do much. So they need to focus on the rest of the population. And that's the part of the population that's more unified now. But those people have to get used to not having natural gas subsidized 40% and other things that really are just extremely inefficient.
I see. You know, with this new parliament coming in and pro-Western ideas, will people see a big change in their way of life there, going about their daily business?
They will see an economy turning down this year, and so they'll be frightened a little bit. The new government will have to perform quickly. The most important thing for the new government is to liberalize the economy, make it easier to start businesses, to hire people, reduce structural barriers, if you will, but do that very quickly. Shock therapy reforms, which Russia had right at the beginning in 1992, that's what Ukraine needs now.
Alrighty. William Courtney, we really appreciate it. Thank you, as always.